Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Thursday, the 22nd of July. I'm surprised I have any voice this morning since I've been awake nearly all the night with the rain, torrential rain, which came in waves, so enough very loud noise to stop you from sleeping, and then a short break and then back it came again, just in case you were nodding off there. So I've had virtually no sleep all night, and I've got a full day of work ahead of me today too. So this will probably be the only puzzle I do today. But anyway, so today's Guardian is listed as hard level, um, and today I'll get onto that in a second, of course. And today, as jazz uh, featured artist or artist that I'd love to mention is Euan Burton, a bass player from Scotland. I've had a lot of bass players as I've pointed a lot of bass players in your direction. I don't have any particular preference towards bass players as opposed to other instruments. It's just happened to be like that. It's not necessarily my favorite instrument, but I love bass like all other instruments. And anyway, Euan Burton, he's a great player, and his band also fantastic musicians. So I would recommend that you check out the links below. He's got at least 3 albums that are really great to listen to. So go and listen to that stuff there and support him right now. Sudoku, how do we play it? What is it? Why should we care? Well, I don't know why we should care, but it's just fun. It's a fun thing anyway. So you can see it's a grid. It's a 9 by 9 large grid divided into 9 smaller 3 by 3 grids. And we have various digits, and they are between 1 and 9. And what we do is we fit numbers 1 to 9 in each of the rows, each of the columns, and each of these boxes that you can see. And that means that each number can fit only once because there are only 9 squares in each row, column, and block. We call these blocks. Okay, so today is supposed to be a hard level puzzle, but we take that with a large fistful of salt when it comes from the Guardian. But it could be. Never know. I really have no idea because sometimes it is hard. But anyway, this 1 here is in this row, and that means that this square here can't be a 1 because we already have a 1 in this row. These 2 squares here can't be a digit 1 because we already have digit 1 over here in this row. So if this square, and this square can't be 1, guess where a 1 goes? Yes, you got it. It fits there. And this is how we play the game of Sudoku. We keep doing similar things around the board. Or it's called grid as well, of course. This 8 blocks across here, so these squares are out. This 8 blocks across here, so these squares are out. This 8 blocks down here, giving us an 8 to position here. And now you can see these 8s are highlighted in yellow. It makes it a bit easier to see once we've put in our first number in this sudokulovers.com grid, which I'm using to play these games. You'll see that it lights up, and so now that it lights up, you can see blocking down here, blocking down here, blocking across here, and across here. Means we can fit an 8 there. This 7 blocks all the way down here, 7 blocks down here, 7 across here, so that's going to give us a 7 in that square there. Now it's highlighted, it's a bit easier to see, 7 blocking across here, and so the 7 must fit there. 7 blocking across here and up this column here, so blocking this square also, this 7. So 7 has to fit here, and then there's only one 7 to get, so we can be sure of getting it. 7 across here, 7 across here, 7 up here, which is not a drink. Okay, and in goes the 7. I'm looking around the board. You can't see me, but I promise you I'm not sleeping, even though I might quite like to sleep. Okay, seen it. We have a 9 blocking across here, so okay, this 9 means that none of these 3 squares can be 9, and then we have a 9 blocking down here, which means that none of these 3 squares can be 9, so 9 will be limited to here and here. And when it is placed, eventually, not yet because we don't know where it goes, it will block this square here. Then we have a 9 blocking across here, so no 9 allowed here. And then we have a 9 up in this column blocking this square down here. And so a 9 will go here. Now, in Sudoku, there's often more than one way of looking at it. Now, you could have looked at it like this. This 9 in this block here blocks these 3 squares. This 9 blocks this square, and so there, this 9, sorry, up here blocks this square, so there would only be one place left. The solution is the same, the answer is the same, but there's more than one way to find it, and this is usually true about Sudoku. Just in case you're wondering why I'm silent, I was looking at these empty squares because there are 3 missing in this column. Turns out they are 3, 5 and 6, but actually not that useful because the 5 blocks this square here, the 6 blocks this square here, and this 3 here blocks this square here, but there's not 2 of them blocking the same square, so unfortunately it's not quite enough. Actually, 5s are fairly short. 5s are in fairly short supply today. 9s are up here. The first numbers I really do without getting a proper grip on the board, meaning I haven't remembered much about what's going on. They just seem to be so obvious that I'll fill them in. After that, it needs a bit more consideration, a bit more thought. Okay, so I think okay, I'm gonna put in some pencil marks to help me find what's missing. Now, I happen to see that 2 is limited to these 2 squares because we have a 2 down here and a 2 down here. Now, that means that over here, 2 is also limited to the top row and the bottom row, so it means that in this row here, 2 has to come here or here. Okay, there's 3 blocks across here like this, so 3 will appear in either these squares, and when it does, blocking back across here, blocking back across here, and so the 3's got to be here like this. This 9 blocks across here, and so the 9 will appear like this, and so now we know 9 blocking across here, 9 blocking across here, and in fact we can now find a 9 because that will limit 9 to these 2 squares, right? 9 blocking up, but 9 blocking up here means that we have to place it here, and so we can place our 3 here like this. Now the other missing number here has to be a 5, right? So for this row, and so now we can find whatever number is missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6. 6 goes here. And now we see our 6 blocking along here, so we can place it as a candidate here and here like this. This 5 blocks across here like this, so 5's got to be in these two squares. The missing number over here is 4. We don't have any 4s over here either, and the other missing number is 2. We don't really have any intersecting 2, so I'm just going to leave that for the moment. Just put in some candidates as pairs to assist us. So if we see pairs, we're going to put them in just to give us a guide, really. Okay, so there's 3 blocks down here, this 3 blocks down here, so we can pencil mark in 3 in these squares here. This 9 blocks across here, 9 blocks across here, and 9 blocks down there, so that's going to give us a pair of 9s there. 9 blocks up here, this 9 blocks up here, so 9 will appear in this square, and then blocks across here like this 9 blocks across here like this, and this 9 blocks up here. So we can also pencil mark in 9s in those squares there. This 8 will block up this column. Oh, I can hardly move the mouse straight, that's how tired I am. And this 8 will block up here, and this 8 blocks here, giving us a pair of 8 candidates in those two squares. One across here, 1 across here, and 1 up the middle. Sounds strange, but I'll put that there. One blocking down here, 1 blocking down here, so that will give us a pair of 1s here. Okay, so now this is always, I say always, usually useful. It certainly will be in this case, because now we have 2 numbers in 2 squares. And if you're not used to playing Sudoku, if you're quite new to the game, I'm going to tell you this is an important thing to understand. If you have 2 numbers that are restricted to just 2 squares within the same block, okay, like this, we have 1 and 3, 1 and 3. It means that 1 and 3 obviously can't go in any other square, we know that already, but it also means we can now forget these 2 when we're looking for the other candidates. So for example, when we see this 5 and look for it, we don't have to consider that it can go in these 2 places, because it can't now. We know it's only 1 or 3. So this 5 that blocks this square and this square along here, right, means that now we can place our 5 here, because that's the only free square left. Now we did have a candidate 5 up here, so that means now we must remove it and place our 5 in this square here. And that also means up here, this has got to be 5, because you can see how it blocks up here like this. Now I overwrote a 9, which was part of a pair, so now I can place that as well. Okay, so now we can find the missing numbers here, and I can certainly see that one of the missing numbers is going to be 6. We don't yet have a 6, so this 6 down here will not be true any longer, and the 6 will have to appear here. Okay, and since we're overwriting a 2, the 2 will have to appear here. So the missing number here now is 4, and actually I can see now that in this column now, missing number is 4 as well, and the missing number down in this column here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's made life much easier. So you can see how good that was just from getting that pair of 1 and 3 up here. The missing numbers up here are 6 and 8. We'll just leave them for the moment, see what else we can do down here. Now that we've remember, every time you fill in a number in Sudoku, you have done something, you've affected something, changed something. So even if you looked at a region before, you should come back and look at it again, because now things have changed. Sometimes it makes a big difference, sometimes no difference, but anyway, you should check and examine. actually I now see that this 5 we can place here. Look, here's the 5, let's highlight it, 5 blocking across here, up here and up here, so there's only one place now where we can put a 5. Let's do some more candidate filling. This 3 here blocks across here, and this 3 blocks up here, giving us a 3, this square and this square. Okay. This 4 blocks across here now, so 4 is a candidate here, and the last candidate for this row is what, 2? I believe so. I'll put them in like that. They're not incredibly useful just yet, but could turn up. Oh yeah, look, here we have a 9 blocking here, so we can remove candidate 9, and actually now we can place our 4 and place our 9 here now. That will be useful. So now 4 blocks up here, this 4 means that this can't be a 4 and this can't be a 4. So now we know that 4 is limited to just these 2 squares here. Also means 4 blocks down here and 4 blocks across here like this. So this square and this square are out in terms of 4. So 4 is limited like this. Okay, still stuff to do. This is not the, I mean, it's not an incredibly difficult puzzle, I guess, but it's also not the easiest of puzzles that they have put under the category of hard, if that makes any sense to you. The Guardian labels its puzzles as hard even when they're really easy sometimes. So I think this might come under the category of at the very least a medium and maybe a hard as well. So that's good. It's not something nice to solve, I think. Right, so I'm gonna let's look for more stuff. So let's put in these candidates up here now then, 6 and 8, because it looks like I'm going to be filling in other candidates as well. Anything I can do here? Ones. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one here, there's a 1 up here which blocks this square here. Okay, and this one blocks this square here. So I'm going to put in candidate 1 in these 2 squares. Now you'll notice that across here and across here there is no candidate 1. So when we think about this block across here, this same chute, we know that candidate 1 must appear in this top row. Now we have a 1 intersecting here, so the 1 is limited to these 2 squares. But this is quite interesting actually. I'm rather enjoying this puzzle because it's not too easy, and it looks like I'm going to have to put in other non-paired candidates. I believe I'm going to have to do that right now, in fact. So let's see what else is missing. So okay, we've got 1. We don't have 2 in this block yet. We have 1 intersecting 2, which stops this from being a 2, but nothing else. So we can place candidate 2 like this. 3, 4, 5, we have 6. This 6 means that this can't be a 6, and so is this, same square but nothing else. So 6 can appear like this. 7, 8 and 9 we have. So now we have completed this block here in terms of candidates. Now let's look up here. 1, we have this 2 means that this square here can't be a 2, but 2 can appear in other places. 3, 4, 5, we don't have a 6 yet, but 6 is not allowed here because of this 6 here, and that's it. So 6 can go like this. 7, 8 and 9 we have already. Okay, so now we can probably solve the puzzle, or we can get certainly a lot done now, now that we've done this, because now we see that in this column we have a 2, 3 and a 2, 3. Now if we have this pair, the same way that if we have 1 and 3 down here, I told you we don't need to look in other places. When we have two numbers in two squares, which are pairs, everything else comes in the other squares. So this 2, 3 and this 2, 3 means that we can't have 2 or 3 again in this column. So when we have a 2 here, we have to remove it, and that leaves us, now that we've filled in all the candidates here, we know that we just have a 1 left to get here. Now we must also remove the candidate 1 in this block because we don't need it anymore. Now this 1 here means that this can't be a 1 anymore, must be a 3, and that has to be a 1. Now we only have one number to get in this row here, and if you count through you'll find it's a 2, so we'll place that 2 now. And now here we've finished this in terms of candidates, so it clearly can't be a 2 now. That will be a 5, and the 2 goes here, and this 2 blocks up here and across here, so the 2 goes here. And now we must remove this candidate 2 here like this, giving us a pair of 2s across the top. You see how you can see blocking here and blocking here, and that gives us 2s across the top. Now here we have 2s in the left and center and right, so we can't quite get them just yet, but that's okay. We shall come back later. In the meantime, we will focus our attention elsewhere. So now let's see, back down here, this 3 means 3 blocks across here, 3 blocks down here, so we have 2 squares where we can place candidate 3. 4, well, let's highlight 4 for you. 4 blocks down here, but that's it. So we have 4, oh, excuse me. We have 4 as a possibility in these squares here. Let's highlight 5. 5 blocks across this row and down here, so we can see we can place 5 as a candidate in these 2 squares. Highlight 6. 6 blocks down here, rather like before, 6 blocks down here but nowhere else, and so we can place, oh, I've done it again, keep forgetting to switch on the candidate mode, sorry about that. 6 blocks down here. Now I believe we are just left with a single 9, but let's just check we've done everything. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now if you're not sure, you can double check by just seeing whether or not this square is affected by anything else. So can it be a 1? No. Can it be a 2? No. Can it be a 3? No. Can it be a 4? No. Can it be a 5? No. Can it be a 6? No. Can it be a 7? No. Can it be an 8? No. So it must be a 9. So if you're not sure whether you've made a mistake in filling candidates, you can do that. Now this 9 up here now can't be true, can it? But we've only got one other place where we can put a 9, so that goes there, and that gives us a 1 here now. If you remember, we had 1 as a pair here or here, so now we know it's got to go here. And we can remove candidate. Oh, I've done it again. I thought I switched on. We can remove candidate 1 here like this. Okay. Now, if we see this row here that has a candidate with a pair 3 and 6, and there's one other blank square like this, we know that this must also be 3 or 6 because we have 2 missing numbers, and we know that it's just, we've eliminated, rather filled in every number here and eliminated those we don't need. So we know that this will have to be 3 or 6 as well, but look, here's a blocking 6. So we know that that has got to be a 3, and this has got to be a 6. Didn't need to count through and find out what number was missing. Now in this column now, there's one number missing, and it's a 5. And in this block now, you can see there's only one candidate 3, so we can place it now. Now we must remember to get rid of candidate 5 here. So that gives us a 4 and 6 like this, and that looks to be good. Up here now, what's missing? Well, we have 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4 yet. We can't tell where it goes, so we'll put it in as a candidate anywhere. We have 5 blocks across here like this, and actually, let's highlight it, 5 blocks across here and 5 blocks up here. So now we can place it. A moment ago we couldn't have placed it, but we can now because we've filled in some more numbers, and so that makes it easier. We've got 7, 8, 9. The last number missing is 6, but we can't quite tell where the 6 goes yet because we don't have enough to limit it somewhere. So the 6 goes here and here like so. Okay, and so now we are left with a few numbers, and I should check and see what they are. Okay, so the easiest thing to see is that in this column here now there is only one 3, only one digit 3. Look down here, 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, and everything is filled in up here, and we don't yet have a 3, and so we know that that has to be a 3, and this is why we put in candidates. They help us to find things very easily like that. And now the puzzle is finished because now we know that's a 2, that's our 3 up here, and everything else should be very easy, I presume. So there's only one in this column now. There's only 1, 2. We don't have. Okay, we've got 4. Sorry, there's no 2 yet in this column. Let's speak clearly. So the 2 has to come here, and now clearly that can't be a 2 anymore. So it's got to be a 6, and this will be a 4, and this is a 6, and this is a 4, and so we just go around doing this. 6. This must be an 8 and a 6 here. Over here now, what is it? That's got to be a 4. There's one number missing in this block. It's 2. One number missing in this row. 1, 2. Because I haven't removed the candidates. If you're wondering why there are 3 possibilities, just because I haven't removed the candidates yet. 1, 2, 3. No 4. So that is in fact a 4. And one number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. So I shall just remove the candidate. Oh, sorry. I shall remove candidate 8 and 4. No, sorry. Remove candidate 4 and 6. Excuse me. It is only 6:30. I've been playing this. So I really started this just a couple of minutes after 6 when the game was published. Like I said, it's not that I woke up early, it's just I haven't slept yet, and I do have to start work at 8 AM and be presentable on screen, which means I shall have to look good and get dressed up. Anyway, I've made my excuses for any small flaps today. I should now make my excuses and leave, as they say in polite society, which I have never been a part of. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. I shall fill in the last digit, at which point the game will disappear and say congratulations, and we won't bother to check the timer because I've been nattering away. Please check out the music of Euan Burton and all other jazz. Just jazz. And any music that you like really will help to make you feel better. So thank you. Come back again, subscribe to the channel, do what you want to do, and hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye bye.